Do you ever have so many pending worship tasks or those technical requests from your leadership that you just feel like you can't even get home to go to sleep at the end of the day? You can't finish that one project without two more project requests hitting your inbox. And if you serve in worship or tech ministry, you know exactly how this feels, right? You show up early, you stay late, you solve problems that nobody else sees. You carry that weight that nobody else understands. And on top of that, you're expected to be spiritually full, relationally present, and technically excellent. Man, it can just feel exhausting. And it's not that you don't love what you do. I get it, right? It's that sometimes you feel pulled in every which direction, like a rope, right? Fraying at both ends. So the question here becomes, how do we stay anchored in the mission of ministry when that pull really never stops? So today I want to walk with you through these biblical anchors I'm going to talk about. 3 truths that can ground you no matter how busy or stretched you may feel. Let's talk about the first anchor. It's your identity is not your role. This can be really hard for us, especially in worship and tech ministry. We're doing good work, right? Kingdom work. But over time, if we're not careful, that work can become the core of who we are. Sometimes we say, if I don't mix this week, I'm going to let my team down. The truth is actually found, I believe, in John 1:12. It says this, "But to all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God." Right? For those who have believed in the gospel truth, you are a child of God, right? He loved us before we ever mixed a great service. He saw us before we nailed that worship set. You're not valuable because of what you do. You're valuable because of who you belong to, right? So pause right now, take a breath, and remember, God is not grading your performance. He's inviting you to walk with him. So let's talk about this second anchor here. The anchor that is boundaries are biblical. They're not selfish, right? There's this false idea in church culture that being constantly available means that we're spiritually mature, right? That saying yes to everything is a sign of commitment. But look at Jesus, right? In Mark 1:35, it says, "In rising very early in the morning, while it was still dark, he departed and went out to a desolate place, and there he prayed." Right? Jesus literally walked away from the people who needed him because he knew his assignment. He prayed, he rested, he said no to good things so that he could stay focused on the right things, right? If Jesus had boundaries, I think we probably can too, right? So you don't have to run sound for every single wedding at your church. You don't have to say yes to the last minute set list change every time. You don't have to be at the church 5 nights a week to prove your worth, right? Ministry without boundaries is not healthy. It's dangerous. And the lack of boundaries ultimately is going to lead you to burnout. But with those boundaries, you will be able to stay in ministry much longer. And finally, anchor number 3, God cares more about our soul than a full schedule, right? Let that sink in. Because in a role where Sunday is always coming, it is way easy to believe that your value is in what you produce, right? That your job is to keep the train on the tracks at all costs. That if you stop, things will fall apart, right? But Psalms 23 paints a radically different picture of how God leads us, right? It actually says, "He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake," right? So God is not a taskmaster. He's a shepherd, and a good shepherd that doesn't drive the sheep harder, right? He leads them to rest. So when was the last time you let God restore your soul, right? Just be honest, right? When was the last time you turned off the console, shut down the laptop, and just sat with him? When was the last time you worshiped with the congregation instead of from the platform? If you're constantly running on empty, you're not serving people better. We're really just falling apart slower, right? I've been there. Let God restore you, not because you've earned it, but because he loves you. So what does this look like practically for us, right? Let's say you're the only person running tech at your church each weekend. Sunday's coming, you're tired, and someone just asked you to handle setup for your youth group on Sunday night. This is the moment to pause and ask, am I saying yes from a place of calling or from a fear of disappointing someone? Or maybe you're the worship leader who's leading every single Sunday. You haven't sat with your family in church for months. You haven't really received anything in forever because you're always the one giving. It might be time to build a rotation. Not because you're lazy, but because you're limited, right? And that's okay. Even Jesus took naps on boats and retreated from the crowds. And if you're leading volunteers, the best you can give them is the model of someone who lives in a sustainable ministry, not a frantic one. And while we're at it, talking about volunteers, at MxU, we believe that building and equipping volunteer teams is essential to worship ministry success. It really is. I've included in the description below a link. It's our free volunteer development toolkit. It's going to massively help you as you go about leading your worship and tech volunteers. And if you're a pastor watching this and you've got worship or tech people under your care, can I just challenge you for a minute? Don't just praise what they produce. Please care about how they're doing. Ask them, hey, how's your soul? Give them permission to rest. Don't just build a church that burns through people in the name of impact, right? Worship and tech leaders aren't just service providers. They are spiritual contributors, right? And they need that same care, the margin and support you would give any other shepherd on your team. So I want to close with this. If you feel pulled in every direction right now, if your heart is tired, your calendar is slammed, and your soul is dry, hear this. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy and laden, and I will give you rest. Right? Matthew 11:28. You don't have to earn rest. You just have to receive it. You don't have to hold on to everything. You don't have to hold it all together. It's not your responsibility. We just need to stay anchored to our identity in Him, to healthy boundaries, to the shepherd who restores our soul. And if this resonated with you, please check out our 4-week devotional guide. It really would help you kind of go to the next step. It's for worship and tech leaders. It's also really designed to help you reflect, reset, and reconnect with your calling, not just your calendar, right? And it also will help your team. So I encourage you to lead your team through it as well. We also have a video that we'll link in the description below. It's about really how do we focus beyond the technical and just seeing the spiritual impact before we're turning knobs and pushing buttons. So please check that out as well, in addition to the other free resources that I've mentioned. As always, if this video helped you, please hit like and subscribe. At MxU, we love providing content that equips you and your teams to grow. We're dropping new videos just like this every week, so please stay tuned. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.